I'm going to go through the costs. Now, what they're trying to do, and if I showed you it, you would be amazed. The returning officer is trying to reignite £60,000 worth of costs, right, at this hearing. So if I lose, he's trying to say I have to give them £60,000. The Royal Mail's costs already, and by the way, they lost all their cases up until this point against me, right? It's completely, the previous judges nullified, in effect, their cost claim, right? So Sarah Pochin has now come up with, let me just go and have a look for you, because I think I've got to show you what this is, right? So let's go to Sarah Pochin first. We'll go through the costs as they are, and you will see exactly what they are. And I have to go through the email and find the other person's costs, which is, let me see if I can find it. And again, they got told off by the judge. The exact words of the judge for the Royal Mail. So the Royal Mail's costs got reduced, and I'm seeing the same scam being pulled by Sarah Pochin and by the returning officer, right? So it is a scam, but at the end of the day, it's down to me to persuade the judges. The money that's coming through now, it takes a few days to drop through, and then I've got to pay £12,300, inclusive of VAT, to the Royal Mail. By the way, there is something that we're doing in the background. They're not getting away with this, right? 100% trust me on this. They're not going to get away with it. Sarah Pochin has literally, the reason I'm showing you this, for obvious reasons, right, is, let me go out and all. I want to show you. So I'm really pleased that everyone's just gone bash. The amount of support, the amount of money coming in, etc. Obviously, it is stressful, and I can do without the stress, but I also love my country, and I know that you do as well. So on your screen at the moment is, for some irony, is Sarah Pochin's barrister, right, Adam Richardson. There are some other things that are going to come up in the trial itself, right, to do with Sarah Pochin. They definitely don't want us going to court, but they've now tried to bill us for £20,703 if we lose tomorrow. They've already been, so their fees have already been scrapped because they've lost up until now. So tomorrow's case is really important, and it is a little bit of what they're doing. In fact, they're far in excess of the Cheshire Police Constabulary, right, which we're going to go back onto now. So I'm showing you it on the screen. So the Royal Mail got brought down from £80,000 to £12,300 inclusive of VAT. They couldn't charge us anymore, and that's what you've helped to pay. You've also helped to pay in both of their bills in entirety, and within literally 48 hours, people have really stepped up to the mark, and I was so relieved, right? Because I have to put this money has to go through before a certain date, so I have to pay it. You get 14 days to pay it, so I've really got to pay it. Technically, I've got to pay it as soon as I can, between the 22nd and the 23rd of October. I'm also going to show you now, disgustingly, I may add, the returning officer. So on your screen, just to prove to you, right? I know you know, but it helps if you see it on the screen, right? If there is no logical reasoning for the returning officer to charge us £59,845.14, and that does not include tomorrow's fees, right? So it's really important that we literally win this case tomorrow. It is disgusting, to say the least, that someone and a group of people that have committed a fraud against the people of Runcorn and Helsby are doing everything they possibly can. At any time, this returning officer, at any time, could have said, we'll go for a recount, right? Instead, he's thought on the flimsiest of a point of law, which has already been decided by two other, and the judges have actually shown us that, two other things, and they're trying to relitigate stuff that's already been decided. I've got to try and convey all that tomorrow to the appeal court judges. The basis of what's going on, and I have no doubt that they're watching this show because they need to get a clue on what we're doing, right? And there's some things that I'm not going to say until we get there tomorrow. We just have to, so the main thing is, I am so grateful, but I just want to make sure that everyone sees what these costs are, right? So for some strange reason, Sarah Pochin believes that her and a single barrister, by the way, who was with UKIP prior to that, and is a personal friend of Nigel Farage, right? Somehow they believe that their costs incorporate £20,703, right? And that is the figure that they've put in today, right? Again, I just want to make sure everyone gets this. It was grossly disproportionate to incur costs in excess of 80,000 in order to advance a very simple proposition that neither she nor the Royal Mail Group Limited could be a respondent. And they actually took that almost directly from what I'd said in there. So it's not as if we're talking, there you go. So when you get to the top of this, the picture, so again, I'm going to highlight this, put it on there, hit the button on that one, hit that, and we're going to try and highlight this if we can, and then highlight that one, and then I'll have to save it because I need to save it, right? The petitioner shall pay the first respondent's cost summarily assessed to 12,300. That's your Royal Mail. Got that all the way down from 80 grand. The petitioner shall pay the second respondent's cost summarily assessed in a sum of £12,327.40. Now that's a whole team of lawyers, including a barrister that was in court, right? And yet Sarah Pochin thinks that £20,703 is what she's due. And again, it looks a bit like a VAT fraud to me. Again, I've had the letter through that says you need to pay us this. So there it is there. I'm just highlighting the figure for you on the screen. So you know all of this money coming in does not go to me. I am not interested in earning money out of this in any way whatsoever, right? So I'm going to highlight that. Hopefully that will come up and everyone will see it. They're trying to claim from us up until the 24th of July. Well done, son. Thank you. Thank you. They're trying to claim from us £59,845.14. And bearing in mind, at any time, he could have said, well, we're going to have a single ballot recount. There is a reason why they don't want to do it, right? It's because the bundle recount is where the fraud is. It's in the bundles. The fraud is in the bundles, and they know that. I don't trust these people as far as I can throw them. I want to make sure everyone understands this. He's not doing this as the CEO of the council. He's doing it as a Crown servant, right? And I will be going into some more detail about that tomorrow, right? Again, just to make sure you are all aware, there's the other figure on the screen. To make sure we've got it up on there. Let me put it on there. Right, it's 12,300. So they're trying to hit us with all these costs. We need to win tomorrow.